Okay, good evening. Mike Mucci here for Chuck Williams. And it's good to see everybody back here after the weekend and already the fourth day of March. And still waiting for a little bit of spring to come here myself. So tonight I wanted to talk about our article content, what they're going to kind of look like every week. In addition to that, I have created a lead generation uh, magnet. It's like one of five that we're going to use, and we will use those um, and send that to our list of people once you have their emails verified. And the purpose of those lead magnet and that campaign of five or six is to bring people to your capture page, your landing page, your splash page, whatever you call it, to start creating that fertile list we talked about. In addition to that, I'm going to take you into the back office of GetResponse and give you a brief tour of that so you can get an idea. We will have more information coming on that, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 in an easy to follow directive. Marcus is going to be helping me with that. In addition to that, I wanted to make you aware, GetResponse has a very, very good customer service team that responds to uh, email questions. We will create the email questions you would need to ask them if you get stuck. So you aren't sitting there trying to figure out what you need to ask them, like I did. That's how I learned. So with that said, this particular piece that you're looking at on the screen, when somebody goes to your capture page and they put their email in, they're going to receive. This is going to be the first piece of content that they receive. They're going to get, it's a little bit of a welcome, to the site. And then the first week's article is titled 5 Quick and Easy Ways to Have a Stroke. Tongue in cheek, of course. And, I saw today that that young man, well, I call him a young man, he was 52 years old. Somebody can help me with the name. He was an actor. He had a massive stroke over the weekend and he passed away. I think his name is Luke. Anybody can help me with that? Luke.
I saw the news report, but I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
It's
well,
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry. Yeah, he is from Ohio too, and he was in a high profile television series. Can't remember the name of it, but if you saw his face, you would recognize him. And we just want to talk real quick about that. If you saw a picture of him last week, he looked like he was in great condition, which kind of took me back. My father-in-law was 50 years old. Listen to this. And I don't have the picture to show you. He was 50 years old and he had a six-pack at the age 50. And I had a picture of him in a swimsuit with a lawnmower and a six-pack. Lo and behold, he had high blood pressure, never went to the doctor, had a massive stroke at the age of 50. And it was so serious, I didn't think he was going to live because the pressure in his brain was so intense. They were going to have to drill a hole into his brain to relieve his pressure. Somehow that pressure relieved itself. However, he never recovered after the age of 50. And if he would have just went to the doctor or, been educated about high blood pressure, it would have never happened. So that Luke Perry situation kind of reminded me of that. So this is a piece of content I always got from a gentleman who I'd done some business with in the past, and I asked for his permission to use it, and this is how he was promoting himself a long time ago. He's been doing this for 10 or 15 years. Um, the article is 5 quick and easy ways to have a stroke, tongue in cheek, of course. And I'm not going to read it word for word, but you guys can take a quick look at it. I'll stroll down here. There's another part to it. And 3 ways to recognize a stroke. Have someone SAS you. Smile, arms, and sentence. And it kind of describes underneath what you need to do if somebody's having a stroke or to recognize they're having a stroke. So this is the kind of content we're going to be having every week. Next week, we've got an article coming together about hydration. And each and every week, we will have some sort of content like this that can kind of put people's minds into, a state that they recognize that they need to be aware of these kind of things. So we feel really comfortable. This is going to be helpful, and it's going to motivate and inspire people to kind of take a look at their situation. You'll be able to customize this. You'll get it from Diane. All you have to do is I'll highlight some areas in it tomorrow where you just can go in and change it and make it your own. And this is going to be copied and pasted into your GetResponse autoresponder. It'll be for day 0. So that means when they sign up on your page, this immediately comes to them. And Chuck kind of got excited because he didn't realize there was a confirmation process. So Chuck, I'll let you talk to that for a couple minutes, and I'm going to bring my other screen up.
Basically, as soon as somebody signs up on your capture page, you get an immediate notification that that person did with their information. And I just added it to my signature. I've already got 2 people who have signed up for my newsletter. So it's pretty cool. And it's easy to keep track of who it is. And then you get their contact information. They go into your database with well, I don't know. I shouldn't talk anymore than I know. But you do get notified each time you get a new lead in your capture system. That I do know.
So the opt-ins are really all tracked and measured, so nobody can say that they're getting spammed. So that's the beauty of the voluntary opt-in. And one thing I'd like to speak to is, as I wanted to simplify this. Let's say that Pam Benjamin has a list of 1,000 Gmail addresses or Outlook and LinkedIn, okay? Let's just say that she has that. And what's going to happen is, out of that 2,000, maybe we're going to get 200 people to go over and sign up into your dedicated landing page. That really has to do with health and wellness. And I can't emphasize enough how valuable that is, because that is a really highly targeted fertile list now. You got people that already have told you they're interested in this kind of information, interested in the benefits that health and wellness can bring to them. So out of that 100 or 200 people we're going to get, that's where we're going to send the recommendation request to, a highly targeted list. I want to make sure everybody understood that. Okay? That's the beauty of this. Now, let me slow down here for just a minute. I'm going to talk to you from a marketing standpoint. A lead generation magnet. What does that mean? Well, that means that we're sending information to a list that we want to turn into a fertile list. And we're going to kind of screen and qualify that person that's coming from that 1,000 plus list, bringing them over into this targeted fertile landing page, which is going to create that new list. So what you have to realize is this. You have to keep constantly dripping on individuals because, as we talked about in the beginning, 60% of all positive responses, what's a positive response in this case? That's somebody going to your landing page and signing up. 60% of all positive responses come after the 5th contact. What do most people do? They quit after 1 or 2. So they really never, get those high percentages. So out of, 1,000, if we got 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 3%, now for our campaign, we're getting, a response somewhere in the, 10 to 13% category versus 1 or, 2 to 3%. It's a big difference. So that can be accomplished in a couple of different ways. I've always done it manually. I like to send out my, lead generation once a week, and I do it for 5 or 6 weeks. You also could do it once you have all 5 or 6 of the lead magnets we're going to provide for you. You could set it up automatically in your GetResponse autoresponder to kind of go out every Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, if you would like to. And you can have that campaign running, but you got to remember you might have to tweak it. You might have to shut it down after 5 or 6 times, not to become a pest to your list. So with that said, here is a example of a lead magnet that was kind of put together with a subject line. Now, this one is probably like 1 full page, okay?
What are we looking at, Mike?
Can you see it?
I don't know. I'm looking at autoresponder content article 1 of 52.
That's, no, that's not what you should be seeing.
No, I didn't think so.
Hold on a minute. How about now?
That's better.
Yeah, it didn't click in. So this is an example of a lead magnet. The initial one has a little bit more of an introduction to it, and the other 4, 5, or 6 that we're going to add to are going to be smaller because the individual is already going to have seen this. Okay, so just to give you an idea what this is, I'll kind of read it off to you, and I'm going to send this over to Diane. We'll highlight some areas that we kind of recommend you can edit to customize it for yourself. Okay, but if you kind of follow this template, it'll give you some structure in the components that you need to have within this to make it work. Okay, a subject line. So let me go through that. Aging and being healthy is a privilege. Some people don't make it. Okay. Tired of having potential health concerns creeping in the back of your mind from time to time, despite having a great income, a loving family, a home, money in the bank, and all those expensive possessions. I too had those reservations often. It seems like once per month I'd learn of someone I knew in my orbit who had serious health challenges, later to learn as I aged, they could have been avoided by being aware and educated, making better choices, and rearranging priorities. Friends and family members had massive strokes, heart attacks, genetically induced terminal illnesses, even environmental cancers. They were stricken way before their time. Luckily, myself, I made it through the gauntlet personally, but I also became a victim too as a caregiver. Others I knew did not fare so well. They died young or became disabled or had lingering terminal diseases. Can only tell you my time as a caregiver was challenging, emotionally exhausting, and financially crippling. It gave me plenty of time to ask why. Why didn't I see the signs more clearly? Why did I and others not put enough emphasis on health and wellness? No, when health elements hit, life becomes problematic quickly. Prevention can go a long way, and that starts with awareness. So if you're at the point in your life and you feel you need to make your health and wellness a priority, want to be aware of simple things you can do to prevent potential health disasters, ensure a better lifestyle, stop being guilty of overlooking potential warning signs that you might ignore out of laziness or an attitude of, that won't happen to me, and wish to make better decisions so you can be the best version of yourself. If so, then my free weekly health tips e-letter message, a 2-minute read, might be just the tool you need to inspire you. You can get your free health and wellness tip delivered via email weekly in a simple 2-minute read at my new standalone webpage, Safeguard Health, Healthy Life Results. Because I've been there, the site and the weekly tips are simply dedicated to giving back and to remind and inspire you to be on top of your health, take care of yourself first, and be the best version of you. If you do, you will be a champion to all those dear to you. When you sign up today at this website, you will receive the first of 52 weekly health and wellness tips. First one titled 5 Quick and Easy Ways to Have a Stroke. We look forward to having you join us. That's what I would send out to my list the first time.
Hey, Mike, might want to change that 5 quick and easy ways to have a stroke, add tongue-in-cheek so they know you're not crazy.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'll make a note of that.
So let's recap for everybody. This letter here is the first of a series of letters, notes to get people to sign up for the newsletter.
Any questions on it? Okay. If I don't have any questions, I'll keep moving on here. But we will include, the other 5 or 6 for you. Remember, I'm going to be going into the secret, the private site, whatever you call it, and just put it on your calendar every day to go in and see what I'm doing every day, and it's going to be kind of easy for you to follow along. So as
Make
I
sure
do
you set your notifications to get notifications whenever it's updated, so you don't have to be checking it. You'll get notified.
Yeah, very good. So, I'll put together this subject lines. I'll take feedback from you if you have ideas on some topics we can cover, so on and so forth. It's going to be a team thing. And as I told you in the beginning, we all learn from each other. But, this is how we're going to start. And I will get this over to Diane tomorrow, along with that article. And I'll suggest some areas in this lead magnet that I just read off to you, where you feel that, not everybody was a caregiver or whatever, but you'll have some ways to be able to customize it for you. The other thing that I ask of you is that you trust it. We know this works. I can tell you, we've been doing it a long time. You're going to get people to raise your hand. You're going to get really excited. Just give it a chance. Okay. Anything I left out, Chuck?
Nope.
Okay. Very good. Let me stop the share here for a minute, catch my breath, and let me go to my...
He's going to provide these templates. You're going to then customize what you want to customize. Then you're going to load it up in your GetResponse, which we're going to show you how to do. and you can either manually or automatically send them out on a scheduled basis. The idea of this is to be populating your GetResponse database with opt-in leads. We're going to show you other ways to do that too. Facebook instant messaging, different ideas, but this is the way we're starting this week. Mike, you ready?
Yeah, it should be coming up here.
Yep, we got it.
Okay. One other thing too is I took an hour this morning and I listened to a webinar about the changes that are coming out in 2019 on how to use Facebook and Instagram. And I thought of a few of you because I know you have other businesses. And I can tell you they're making some significant changes. And there's going to be some really good opportunities there if you kind of learn how it works, how the new algorithms work. One thing that they kept emphasizing was this: the maximum views you're going to get from your news feeds that you have is 1.6% to 2%. Okay. And, they talked about what kind of content you need to have, so on and so forth. And I'm going to look at it further. I took a bunch of notes, but I didn't want to kind of bring all that in right now until you all got your arms wrapped around this first. Okay. There are going to be some things you can do with Facebook. You can even advertise on Facebook for as little as $1 a day. Of course, they got a lot of case studies where they showed individuals who have home businesses or even photographers, retail shops, how they're being successful with it. It probably wouldn't hurt to learn some of that, but let's get our arms wrapped around this first. Okay? So I said that because I want to give you hope. I want to give you hope that you can make money. This is about earning $500 a week. Let's not lose sight of that. Let's don't get wrapped up in, all the steps and this and that. This is about finding good people, converting, demonstrating what's in it for them, and how to make them succeed. Let's don't forget that part. Okay? Put that at the top of your list. That's what this is all about. Okay? So many people get caught up in, well, I'm learning this, and as soon as I learn this, I'm going to make this. No, we got to start doing the things that are going to earn you revenue now. Can't wait. Okay? It's not good. So with that said, this is GetResponse. Now, here's what I'd like to tell you. There's only 4 or 5 things you got to learn about this. The rest of the stuff they got here, it's like a Mercedes. Just simply duck. Get out of the way. Don't get, polarized. Oh, they got these great, these great templates and this and that. Why are we only using, the old school letter forms? Why are we doing that when we got these beautiful looking templates to do all this other stuff? Because you don't need it to do what we're doing. Works good, but you don't need it to get started, to get people into your business. Okay, so let me go to this. This company's been around 15 or 20 years. I think I've used them for 15 years. So I stand by the effectiveness of GetResponse. And they do have a really good, customer service that, you email them and they're sharp. They got people that they hire. They're from Europe. They know what they're doing. Okay. we will get you the questions that you need to ask to get yourself up and running based on the system that Chuck and I have created, used, and tested. Okay? Got me on that? Now, because Mike Mucci is definitely old school, he is. I was too lazy to learn their new, you know, uh, high profile, upgraded system. So if you can see way up here, if you liked how we've revamped, but you need to step back, well, that's me. I'm a step back kind of guy here. So I'm still doing it the way that I did it, that earned me the results that I've gotten. So I'm going to take you back to that. Okay? So what I got to do is I got to move this over here. All right. Up here on the right-hand corner, it says your current campaign. Now keep in mind when I hit this drop-down box, I have got a lot of campaigns here that I've done over time. Okay? But what we have to be, in play for is we're going to create a new campaign. That's what you're going to do when you come here. You create a new campaign. So you're going to give it, call it a campaign name, call it, let's just call it whatever your landing page is, I would put in here. And I'd name the campaign and I'd start that way. Okay? Now, with that said, I just want to kind of take you through this because I'm going to send you over to directions, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And I'm thinking we'll do a video on this for you. We'll do a video on this for you to get you in play. There's a couple of things up here that you need to know. You see where it says contacts. Okay? 3 things I've used. I've used search contacts. I wanted to take somebody out of my list. I've added contacts one at a time if I needed to. But here's the important one. It says import contacts. That's where you're going to go to put your Excel spreadsheet up in here. Okay? You can do it a couple ways. You can copy and paste the names in here. Or you can copy and paste just the emails in here. You can upload a file. And you're going to come down here and it's going to give you my word that this list is permission-based in accordance with the GetResponse anti-spam policy. That anti-spam policy means, did you get these emails verified? Okay? You got to get your emails verified. If you don't, and you don't do that, and you send out your list, and it comes back, that these emails are bouncing all over the place, they're going to come down on you, just like all these other providers do. Okay? So keep that in mind. That's why you got to verify. Then we're going to go over to message. It says create a newsletter, my newsletters, create autoresponder. So there's 3 things there you got to learn. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. If I could do it, you can do it. So what we will do is, like on my newsletters, I already have one in, but let me get to the right. Let me get to the right campaign before I do that, because I'm not going to be helpful to you if I don't do it this way. So let me go to Mike Mucci 7 and my newsletters. I load it up. Sometimes it doesn't quite hit, so you got to come over here and then check this and make sure. You won't have this problem because you don't have campaigns that you work before. So we didn't find any newsletters to match your criteria. But what I have done is I created an autoresponder. And I've got my first message in there So if I bring this back again, I have this challenge of always going to my first, and here's the campaign. So what's day zero mean? Day zero means when somebody signs up on your landing page, automatically they're going to get that first article. Everybody understand that part? See if I can move this up here. So if I wanted to create a new email, I would put it in here. But if I want to choose a message, I go back. Okay, this is going to allow me right here, if I want to create a newsletter for this account, I'm going to come to this page here. Okay, a drag and drop email editor. Take me to the previous version of the editor. Remember I said I took a step back. I'm staying within, you know, boy, I went through this today too, and it doesn't look like I did, does it? One moment, we got a little bit of a technical thing here. My mistake. Here's the article that I've already put in so I could demonstrate to you tonight. And remember where it said like day zero and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you set up your autoresponder, we're going to, on day 7, we would add the second article. Day 14 would be the third, fourth, fifth, and so on and so forth. And this also gives you an opportunity here to edit whenever you want. I got to make some edits on this, of course, but here's the article, edit message. You can create a new one. It's pretty simple. You don't have to learn every step that's in this. There's 5 or 6. We'll put it in chronological order for you. We'll do a short video for you so you have it. You have your reply. You have your distribution settings. You have your address down at the bottom so they know where the email comes from. And right here is, I use a personalization in this one. You won't have that because on our landing page, we didn't ask for the first name. We only asked for the email address. So that's something we'll cover in the video. But if I go to my next step here, here is my article right here. And when you put these in, they got a nice little thing here. You can test the message first. You can send it to yourself. It'll come to your email address. You can look at it, make any corrections on it. It has a wrap your long lines feature, which means when you put it in here, you click that, it'll automatically format this for you. Okay, so once that's done, you go to your next step. And in this particular case, it's a save and publish because we're setting it up on a day and weekly basis. And you can see I have it checked off. Enable on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll touch on that. But the next one I put in, this 0 would change to a 7 when I put the new email in. Um, I really don't want to kind of go any further than that. I just wanted to show you that there's only 5 or 6 things you got to learn here. And then it's just a matter of repeating 2 or 3 of those steps on a weekly basis. So should be like riding a bicycle. We'll break it down for you, make it digestible and easy to follow. So, any questions?
I have one, Mike. And while I'm asking, maybe some others can think of one. I'm going to import my list that I've been working on for a while now, and it's going to have their name, it's going to have their email, and I'm going to be sending the letters to get them to opt into my capture page. So if I put 0 in the day, once I upload my list, they're not actually going to my capture page. I'm putting them in. How do I send that to the whole list?
Okay, that's not an autoresponder. That's just going to be basically like setting up a message, or it would come under, creating a newsletter. Because basically what you're doing, you're just creating a message. So in your case there, substitute message for newsletter. And then you're going to upload, and you're going to go grab that list, check it off where you're going to send it to. That's another step. And I can walk you through that tomorrow, because what we'll do is we'll identify the steps. We'll do a video for everybody so they can actually see how it's done.
Okay. Just want to make sure I was clear. Thank you.
Okay.
For those of you watching this recording, I know there's a few. If you've got questions, email them to Mike. We'll be working on this the next couple of days, getting ourselves up and running. So we want you to be sticking with us. I do want to mention one thing here, Mike, and maybe you can touch on it too. We've got some very talented people that have chosen to be part of this small group. And many of you want to do a lot of customization. Just be careful. You obviously want to customize the part where Mike talks about being a caregiver. If that doesn't apply to you, you obviously don't want to tell something that's not authentic to you, but be careful how much you customize. The things that Mike is using have been tested for years, and we know they draw, we know they work. So just trust the system. If you really want to customize, we can't stop you, obviously. It's your own business. You can do whatever you want, but we do want to know if you're going to do a lot of customization, because we want to be able to check your results versus ours. And if your results are better, we may take some of your ideas and implement if you don't mind. But we also want to be able to tell you, hey, you're getting such and such response. We're getting 10 times that. We want to be able to help you. So let us know if you are going to do some customization. And I encourage you to do as little as possible. So Mike, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, one more thing about the support. There's no I in team.
Mm-hmm.
So what our intent is, Marcus is really getting a really good handle on how to use GetResponse. So initially here, when we get these steps in place, so you can go fast and be accurate, he's going to be kind of the go-to guy about learning about those 5 or 6 steps I told you about in GetResponse. Okay? I'll be working with all of you on, the content and different things like that, but because we have a wide scope of things we're trying to implement here, as you can see, we want to be able to give you the good service too. So you're not waiting and getting frustrated. So that's one of the things that we're going to work on right away, is we'll get Marcus to kind of handle those questions. And I know some of you are really excited about Facebook. Okay? That information that was reviewed today would be very helpful to some of you. I can tell you that. Let's get our arms wrapped around this first. Okay? Let's get our arms wrapped around this first, because what we really need to do here is help each of you get 2 people, and help those 2 people get 2 people using the same system. We don't want to create a system that is so difficult to follow. It's got to be about the results first. And I can only tell you this. Once you get this in place and you send out the recommendation letter, that's what I needed to clarify here tonight. Let's talk about your newsletter that we went over tonight and your recommendation request letter, okay? Some of you already have a list, okay? Some of you have emailed a list before, okay? Chuck, make sure I'm saying this the right way, so cut me off if I say something that's not right. You are going to be able to send a recommendation request campaigns in concert while you're also building your landing page. So you're not going to have to wait till you get to 200 people over there. We'll show you how to do both. And I know some of you want that letter. It's going to be in Chuck's hands tomorrow. He's got to approve it. Diane's got to proofread it because I'm not the best. You know, my eyes get cross-eyed at times. But that's coming out too this week. And we'll talk to you. If you feel you got a big enough list and you want to send that recommendation request out while you're doing the other strategy here at the same time, that's going to be acceptable. You want to add to that, Chuck?
Let's just aim to have you get it to us tomorrow. We review it, and by Wednesday night's training call, we will have that recommendation letter ready for those who want to start using it. And
does that make everybody happy?
And it does draw really, really well. I'm telling you.
Can I see some smiles? Can I see some clapping? Can I see any kind of positive response? That's good. So, guess what? You got it after that. We just got to kind of put a checklist together for you. Here's what you need to do daily to accomplish this little system, because it goes back to 1 hour a day. And here's the best part. I didn't tell you, you don't have to work Friday at it. You get Friday off. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I don't send any emails out on Monday. You know why? It's the day that you get the least amount of response. Nobody, they ain't ready for that. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is when you want to harvest. That's my opinion. Chuck, anything you want to add to that? Am I setting them up for some bad habits? Or is it the truth?
You're not. Just remember, but you take your list. You're looking for 2 people that want to build, and then we're going to give them access to the same type of list building and training.
We're going to train them.
Very, very duplicatable for the first time in your career.
And that preliminary interview, we talked about this today. Chuck and I had a little brief meeting. We know you're going to be anxious about doing that. We know you're going to be kind of tipping-toeing. Hey, can I do that? Be not confident. We're going to do them for you. When you get those people, I'm going to do the preliminary interview with you for that person until you get it, until you feel comfortable doing it yourself. Okay? I mean, that's what we have to do. And then you got Chuck explaining the isogenics business. Now think about that for a minute. It's a pretty good way to go.
Speaking of which, I will be explaining that in about an hour and 10 minutes. So I hope you'll all join us. I've got Kwang Soo Shin's going to be my guest tonight. And he's going to do a little bit about Asia. You're not going to want to miss it because it's between our lead generation system here and the expansion to Asia. Any entrepreneur you talk to should want to get in our business. I'm serious.
Who's on the call tonight that has their own little business? I know Elaine does. She has a private business. But is there anybody else that has a business, like a small business that they operate or they're consulting to? Is there anybody else besides Isogenics? No? Okay. Elaine, that Facebook material that I heard today is something that you probably should listen to her webinar.
I've got a webinar on Saturday with a friend who's actually on the Facebook panel. She's one of 3 that were chosen kind of in the nation, and she's kind of letting us in on some inside scoop. But I agree with you that for everyone doing this project, if you will, I would hold off on Facebook. I mean, the whole ad thing is a whole nother ball of wax. You have to go into those background demographics. So I agree with you. that would be like phase 2 to do any kind of
Yeah.
Facebook
What's her name?
advertising.
What's her name, Elaine?
What?
What's the lady's name? Because that's
No,
the.
I just met her at a conference.
Oh, okay. No, yeah.
I can send you her Facebook contact
I got
because
the
you
link.
can get in on the event too.
Okay. What I also learned today is if you're going to do those kind of ads on Facebook, you're going to be required to give your driver's license, a passport, or a social security card.
I've never done that.
Well, they're really cracking down on all this. So
Well, there's a lot of garbage, but I just advertised on Facebook a week ago, but I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
I'll send you her name and who's going to do it on Saturday.
Okay. And Marcus, I see you're here. I was talking about you. It was all good.
Yeah, I've been listening.
Okay.